The highlights. Lagos State government empowers 1,750 vulnerable residents with work, tools and cash grants. President Tinubu approves redeployment of permanent secretaries in petroleum and other ministries. On the foreign scene, human rights organizations renew calls for investigations into killing of protesters by Kenya's security forces. And in sport, Flying Eagles set to intensify preparations for 2025 AFCON opening fixtures against Tunisia. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Lagos State government has empowered 1,750 vulnerable indigent residents and graduates of various vocational centers across the state with work tools and cash grants to further deepen effort aimed at creating a 21st century economy. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, while addressing beneficiaries at the 2025 Micro Enterprise Support Initiative organized by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, explained that the present administration has spent about 10 billion naira in training, equipment and grants to ensure micro enterprises can contribute their quota to the state economy. Governor Sanwo-Olu also described micro enterprise support as a way to reach indigent and vulnerable Lagosians with the dividends of democracy, while ensuring that they become self-reliant employers of labor and contributors to the state economic growth.
We believe it's a tremendous opportunity for you to use it wisely, to grow your business, to be able to create jobs, and over time support others. Your success is indeed our success. Your progress is indeed our progress. Because it's only when we all progress together that the state progresses. It's only when we all succeed together that the state succeeds. So it's not about the governor, it's not about the commissioner or cabinet members, it's about each and every one of you that have been given the opportunity here today.
In her goodwill message, wife of the Lagos State Governor, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by the wife of the Deputy Governor, Oluremi Hamzat, noted that the MESI program is a shining example of the present administration's commitment to empowering women and youth to become independent and key players in their various sectors.
The state dedication of empowering women and those especially vulnerable through poverty alleviation is truly commendable. This initiative has not only provided financial support for vulnerable micro enterprises, but has also equipped them with the necessary skills and training to thrive in their respective industries and endeavors.
Earlier, Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Bolaji Dada, said under the Themes Plus agenda, the state's government is redoubling its focus on social inclusion and economic self-reliance, urging beneficiaries to pay forward the benefit they have received by mentoring others in their various communities.
Do not sell these equipments. They are meant to empower you. They are meant to move you from this level to the next level.
The essential tools distributed include cake mixers, sewing machines, smoking kilns, barbing kits, POS terminals, photography equipment, agricultural equipment, among others. A wife of the Lagos State Governor, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, has flagged off a walk to end polio and called for efforts to strengthen routine immunization across the state. The walk for polio is in commemoration of the World Immunization Week 2025, with the theme Humanly Possible, Saving Lives Through Immunization, organized by the state government in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and other development partners. Mrs. Sanwo-Olu called on parents, health workers, community leaders, and policymakers to intensify efforts to ensure that no child is left behind in the fight against vaccine-preventable diseases. She harped on community mobilization and active grassroots engagement to debunk vaccine myths and misinformation, emphasizing that her office will continue working with the Ministry of Health to drive awareness and reach underserved areas.
We stand together to prove over and over again that we are strong advocates of the immunization schedule. We are strong advocates of the World Immunization Week 2025, and we are ready to walk the walk, talk the talk, do the do, dance the dance, anything it would take to ensure that our children are safe from these preventable diseases.
The wife of the Deputy Governor, Oluremi Hamzat, who also addressed the gathering, challenged attendees to become ambassadors for immunization. On his part, the Permanent Secretary, Primary Healthcare Board, Ibrahim Mustafa, advocated collective effort, stronger action, renewed commitment to prevent every child in the state from vaccine-preventable diseases.
Lagos State, despite its progress, still carries a burden of zero-dose children. These are children that have never received any dose of routine vaccine. And as you know, each zero-dose child represents not just a gap in our system, but a risk to the rest of us.
The National Immunization Plus Days will start from May 3 to 6, during which children aged 0 to 59 months will receive 2 doses of oral polio vaccine free of charge. The Lagos State government has been commended for putting necessary apparatus in place to ensure the protection of lives and property of residents. And this came to fore at a stakeholders meeting organized by Lagos State government and National Institute for Security Studies NISS. Participant at the event was the theme Non-State Actors in Security Management, Issues, Challenges and Prospect for Peace and Development in Africa, lauded the government for the establishment of various agencies to tackle all forms of insecurity ranging from traffic, waste management, criminal activities, among others. The participants said Lagos State remains the safest in Nigeria as a result of heavy investment in its security architecture, calling on other states in the country to emulate Lagos by adopting its security system. Speaking at the event, representative of the Permanent Secretary, Office of the Chief of Staff, Akimade Akeriade, assured that Lagos State will continue to build on the existing tempo to sustain security. He said Lagos State does not joke with the sixth pillar of the Themes Plus agenda, which is security and governance, urging Lagosians at all levels, grassroots communities, to also get involved. Treat security as a collective responsibility and always say something when they see something.
It is the responsibility of everyone to ensure that we secure our country. Lagos State has a solid structure. That is what is working in the state for us. And we can see that the state is so peaceful. Consistently over the years, I can say in the last 10 years, Lagos State has been peaceful. And we don't have any issue concerning security. Section 14(2)(b) of Nigerian Constitution says the primary responsibility of every government is to protect life and property of our citizens. All actors in this regard must ensure that we carry out our responsibility.
Participant of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 18 of the National Institute of Security Studies, Abuja, are in Lagos on a study tour as part of their 10-month course to build security across the country. Other participants include personnel of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, NNSA, LOMA, Department of State Security, DSS, Nigeria Correctional Service, NCOS, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, National Population Commission, representatives of Arewa, Ezendigbo, and in Lagos, Youth Council, CDCs, and CDAs. The Lagos State Christian Pilgrims Welfare Board Secretary Walabo Okudero has paid a courtesy visit to the Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Christian Pilgrim Commission, NCPC, Stephen Adebite, and received the confirmation of NCPC's full support for the 2025 pilgrimage exercise. During the courtesy visit, Okudero was informed that preparations for the 2025 pilgrimage exercise are in top gear and will officially begin in earnest. Adegbite expressed a deep appreciation to the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and the First Lady, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, for their steadfast support of Christian pilgrimage activities in Lagos State. He congratulated Okudero on his appointment and reaffirmed NCPC's commitment to partnering with Lagos State, describing the state as a pace setter in pilgrimage operations nationwide. In response, Okudero also expressed gratitude for Adegbite's visionary leadership and shared plans to introduce an automated pilgrimage registration system in Lagos State. He added that the initiative aims to enhance service delivery, improve efficiency, and eliminate challenges associated with manual processes. Now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has approved the redeployment of 4 federal permanent secretaries as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen the operations of the Federal Civil Service and enhance service delivery. This is contained in a statement issued by the Director of Information and Public Relations, Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Eno Olotu. According to the statement, the move aligns with President Tinubu's reform agenda and is aimed at boosting operational efficiency and innovation across ministries. The head of Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Wilson-Jack, emphasized that the redeployment is a routine administrative process intended to revitalize the civil service by aligning senior officials' expertise with critical national needs. She urged the redeployed officials to bring their experience to bear in their new assignment, ensuring effective service delivery and continued progress in their ministries. All handover and takeover activities are to be completed on or before May 2 in line with the directive. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Lagos Operations Office, and other stakeholders have received 203 vulnerable Nigerian returnees from Libya. The agency, in a statement, noted that the returnees were received at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Cargo Terminal in Lagos. It said the returnees comprised 50 males, 96 females, 29 children, and 28 infants. According to NEMA, the returnees were offered necessary assistance by the International Organization for Migration, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons Offices, the Nigeria Immigration Service, the Department of State Services, the Port Health Services, and the police. The federal government has ordered immediate implementation of a unified joint interest screening system across Nigerian airport. Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, which gave the order, said this decision was reached to put an end to clumsiness and touting in air transport operations across the country. Representative of the National Security Advisor, Ahmad Madawaki, said this during an aviation security symposium with the theme, The Fundamentality of Security in Achieving the Safe Skies Goals, held in Lagos. Madawaki also said the ONSA is developing a security threat assessment framework for airport and airstrips that would include all stakeholders. In foreign news now, leading human rights organizations have renewed calls for investigations into the killing of protesters by Kenya security forces during demonstrations against a rise in taxes last June. It follows an investigation that exposed members of the security forces who shot dead 3 protesters at Kenya's parliament, igniting public outrage and demands for justice. Amnesty International and the Kenyan Human Rights Commission said the officers identified in the documentary should face the law. Kenya's government spokesman, Isaac Mwara, has responded by saying every life is important and that the police watchdog is conducting an investigation. In sport now, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria will intensify preparations for the opening fixture against Tunisia at the Aerosport training turf later tonight ahead of the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations in Egypt. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, officially welcomed the Flying Eagles players and officials at their Joel Sport City Hotel, Cairo on Monday. CAF officials briefed the players and technical crew members on the tournament guidelines. Meanwhile, Ali Zubair's side will take on the North Africans at the June 30 Air Defense Stadium, Cairo, on Thursday in the Group B encounter by 4 p.m. Nigerian time. That's it on the news at 6, but just before we go, stay alive. Make use of pedestrian bridges where available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms, X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that under the Sanwo-Olu administration, 280 youth were trained in solar farm construction? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has empowered 1,750 vulnerable indigent resident and graduate of various vocational centers across the state with work tools and cash grants to further deepen effort aimed at creating a 21st century economy. President Bola Tinubu has approved the redeployment of 4 federal permanent secretaries as part of ongoing effort to strengthen the operations of the Federal Civil Service and enhance service delivery. We also told you that leading human rights organizations have renewed calls for investigations into the killing of protesters by Kenyan security forces during demonstrations against a rise in taxes last June. And finally, in sports, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria will intensify preparations for the ongoing fixture against Tunisia at the Aerosports Training Turf later tonight, ahead of the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations in Egypt. For contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Iduwolaya. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good evening.